Welcome to Detroit. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass. You can drown them. And that's what we gotta be. That's who we have to be. Because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes to fucking bury you.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Montgomery, right side, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yes.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends, fans, and family members. Welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike. And as always, we're diving on in. Folks, I gotta tell you something. I don't know what the hell just happened, but I feel absolutely 100% lied to. I feel as if somebody just screwed me over with my pants on. Like, seriously, I feel like I just got screwed over with my pants on. What am I talking about? I put out an episode no more than about an hour and 45 minutes or so, maybe, from the time I'm recording this episode. And as soon as I put that out, I literally see the news that the Lions are stating that Frank Ragnow has failed his physical. What? How does he fail a physical? How is that even possible? And then we find out that the reason he failed his physical is because he has a grade 3 hamstring strain. How did it... I'm flabbergasted. I'm befuddled. I don't understand this. And the reason I don't understand it is because either, one, the Lions are doing some really, really shady-ass crap, let's call that for what it is, or Frank Ragnow lied about his health. Because, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I know I'm not. Did or did not the reports that, Ian Rapoport and Adam Schefter put out on freaking social media, on Twitter, say that Frank Ragnow was fully healthy and fully in shape and ready to go? I mean, it was right out there in black and white. Right out there in black and white. I mean, no way to misinterpret it. Fully healthy and in football shape, or fully healthy and in shape. Ready to rock and roll. And yet here we are, and it's only, 72 hours since he came out of retirement, and now the Lions are saying, nope, sorry, he failed his physical, we're not going to bring him back. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. Because to me it's like, wait a minute here, back up here. It's like, this guy has sat on a couch, has not done anything as far as serious football anything in 3-4 some plus months. And somehow you're going to tell me that when he shows up to your building in the morning and he goes through everything, that somehow he fails a physical because he has a grade 3 hamstring strain. And if there's one thing I understand about, the grades, is that the higher they go, the worse they are. So how did this guy get a grade 3 hamstring strain after not playing football for the last 3-4 plus months? How's that even remotely possible? Because to me that makes no sense. It's like, this is a guy that has played through damn near everything. Guy had his freaking voice box literally crushed at one point, has an inoperable turf toe injury, played through that for several years, and yet somehow he shows up to the organization and he has a hamstring strain that even Adam Schefter and Ian Rapoport didn't know about. Like, that to me is suspicious as hell. I gotta be honest, I'm feeling hoodwinked here. I'm feeling as if somebody freaking just pulled the wool over my eyes. And honestly, I can't figure out who it is. I can't tell if it's Frank Ragnow, who lied about his health. I can't tell if it's Adam Schefter and Ian Rapoport, who lied about the reporting. And I can't figure out if it's the Lions who are lying about the fact that, he failed his physical. Because to me, it's like, okay, here. In order for you to get a hamstring strain, you've got to do something ridiculously, serious. you have to do something absolutely ridiculously, over the top. In order to get a hamstring strain, you've got to do something that is ridiculously overexerting. That's the part about this that just makes no sense, because somebody here is lying. Whether it's Frank Ragnow, whether it's the Lions, or whether it's the freaking the media outlets who misrepresented or misreported the status of Frank Ragnow's health. Somebody is lying. And to me, it's like, okay, not only has the lie now been absolutely, been brought to light, because now, obviously, Frank Ragnow's not going to play this year, because the Lions emphatically shut that down with their statement that, he's not playing this year. But then it now begs the question, okay, here, what actually is going on here? Like, seriously, what's going on? I never thought I was ever going to ask this question with a Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes-led Detroit Lions team, especially after all the bullcrap we went through with, Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. But I seriously don't know what to believe anymore about this front office. I seriously don't know what to believe. It's like, how do we go from a guy that's coming out of retirement and, everybody's expecting that he's going to come back and he's going to be ready to rock and roll, and then here we are 72 hours later and, oh, we're sorry, he's not going to be able to play because he has a hamstring strain. Like, that to me literally makes no sense. How in the hell in 3 days, 72 hours, do we go from he's coming out of retirement and he's fully healthy and he's in shape and ready to go to, oh, we're sorry, he's not playing this year. Like, I mean, I've had slower whiplash from car accidents. I literally feel like Jackie Gleason from freaking, Smokey and the Bandit when he's talking to his son Junior. It's like, there ain't no way that you could come from my loins. But rephrase that in this particular situation, there ain't no way I can believe what I'm reading. There ain't no way that what I'm being told is the 100% gospel truth. Somebody is covering something else. Something's being covered up here. Because to me, it's like somebody at some point clearly lied. And like I said, I can't figure out if it's Frank Ragnow, I can't figure it out if it's Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, and I can't figure it out if it's the Lions front office or the medical staff. Because to me, it's like, I don't understand how we've gone through this entire, circle of events in literally 72 hours. I'm absolutely beside myself. I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? Because now, it's like, okay, we now know we're not getting back Frank Ragnow, which at this point, I'm just going to call for what it is. The Lions are not getting in the playoffs. They will have to hope and pray and, expect a miracle in order to get into the playoffs. Because without Frank Ragnow, we ain't beating the Cowboys. We ain't beating the Rams. We just ain't going to do it. We might beat the Steelers. I mean, that I can see us possibly doing. We can beat the Vikings. The Bears, we ain't going to beat them. I'll just call it for what it is. We will probably finish the year 9-8 or 10-7 if we're lucky. It's that simple. And that's exactly what I feel like. I feel like somebody just pulled the wool over my eyes and screwed me with my pants on. That's exactly what I feel like. And it feels like I've literally been having this done to me, and all the other fans have been having it done to them throughout the entire course of the season. Because to me, it's like, I don't understand how this Lions team, this Lions front office, who has been so well prepared over the last 3-something years, making sure, hey, we've got this checked off, we've got that checked off, okay, we've got linemen, we've got playmakers, we've got this, we've got that, has been meticulous, absolutely meticulous about having everything in place and having contingency plans in place for if something goes awry, how for whatever reason, they quite literally got caught with their pants down so bad this year. I can't understand it. Not only can I not understand it, but there's no justification for it. There's absolutely none. At this point, I am literally looking at the Lions front office. I'm looking at Brad Holmes. I'm looking at Dan Campbell as if there's something going on behind the scenes where I don't even want to acknowledge it, but it's secretly creeping up in my head. They're doing something to try and set themselves up for next year. That's the only thing I can think of. Because it's like, I cannot, in all good conscience, look at this team and somehow you tell me that this front office has given its absolute best effort to put this team in the best possible position to try and win or succeed this year. I just can't. You cannot tell me that that's exactly what they've been doing. Because it's like, you had opportunities at the trade deadline. You passed it up. You had opportunities in offseason. You passed those up. We've had opportunities throughout every single step of this season to make this team better. And every single time Brad Holmes has pretty much been like, no, I don't think we need anything. Or no, I don't think it's worth it. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, here. I've looked at multiple different angles as to how I can potentially, see this the way Brad Holmes is seeing this, to try and view this the way Campbell and Holmes are seeing it. Because I've looked at it and I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what? They're probably going to have to rework some contracts, restructure some contracts in the offseason. Okay, I can understand that. But to me, it's like, I can't understand why this year the Lions have just been absolutely unwilling as hell to make any sort of moves. And they've just been settling. Literally, just been settling for what they have. Like, it's absolutely just beyond me. Because every time in the past, they've made moves to try and bring somebody in. When we lost touch, they went out and they got Zadarius Smith. Made a very good deal on that front. And then the very next year, we cut him. Why did we cut him? We've got, like $20-something million in cap space? We didn't have any need to cut him as far as cap space was concerned. If we had him right now, we would still have plenty of cap space. Now, whether or not he would have retired, I have no idea still. That's still a question to consider at this whole point. But it's like, that move, along with everything else that has transpired, it just makes me sit back and I'm really starting to question what the hell is going on in Allen Park. Because it's like, okay, here. Now this offseason, it's very plain to me what the Lions are going to have to do this offseason. The entire offseason is going to have to be reworking the entire trenches. Especially the offensive line. Because you've now got to find a brand new center because Graham Glasgow's not going to be it. If the Lions run again with Graham Glasgow, that is grounds for malpractice. You're going to have to hope or find somebody better than Christian Mahogany, or hope that Mahogany somehow improves vastly from this year to next year if he's going to retain that role. And then you're also going to have to find a replacement for Taylor Decker, because Decker's playing with feet problems, has been for years. He's been playing all year with a shoulder injury. So you have to wonder, how many more years is he good for? And even if he does play, how good is he really going to play for you? It's a serious set of questions. At this point, the Lions are going to have to completely revamp the entire middle to the left side of their offensive line. Because within the end of that statement that the Lions put out there was no indication that they thought that Frank Ragnow was going to try and come back next year. Absolutely none. Now, that's not to say that Frank Ragnow might not still try, which if he does, I would be absolutely ecstatic about that. But, that's at least a month or month and a half down the road before we even have that conversation. So it's like, okay, maybe you get Frank Ragnow back, but that's just a stopgap. That's just putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. You're still going to have to try and find somebody to eventually replace him. But that's my whole point. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, this literally makes no damn sense. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? I literally feel like as if somebody has put me in a chair and has completely blindfolded me and spun that chair in a 360 rotation and now is saying, okay, try and pin the tail on a donkey, and you have no idea where you're going. Because that's exactly where this Lions team is going right now. It has no identity. It has no direction to it. And it seems like the front office is literally playing a game with the whole fan base and with the team. Because to me, it's like, I don't understand what the hell's going on. Now, I'm going to put this out there for what it is. Obviously, I'm not going to know everything. Obviously, the media is not going to know everything. But it really brings into a serious amount of questioning like, okay, what in the actual hell is going on? And that is a question I never thought I was ever going to have to ask after the Matt Patricia and, Bob Quinn era. I never thought I was ever going to have to ask what in the serious actual hell is going on inside of Allen Park. Because I thought we were well gone and past that all by now. I was like, there's no way the Lions are going to play games with us anymore. There's no way they're going to be this back and forth kind of individual kind of organization where 1 minute it seems like we know what's going on and the next minute we're getting absolutely told something that's completely different. It's like I said, I feel like I'm back in the whole Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia era where it's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what the hell to expect. Because that's what Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia did. They were very, very, close to the vest. They were very unwilling to give us information. And they played mind games with people. And again, it's very similar to what happened with the whole situation with Sam Laporta. Like, go back to after Sam Laporta got put on IR, and it was in that one media session. They asked Dan Campbell, one of the reporters asked Dan Campbell, hey, what's going on with, Sam Laporta's back? What's the specifics of it? And all Dan Campbell said, it's a back injury. Well, no dip, Sherlock. We knew it was a back injury. What specifically about the back is the problem? Is it a fractured vertebrae? Is it a pulled muscle? Is it a strain? Like, details, man. What exactly is going on here? Why is he put on IR? And we just get this coy answer, it's a back injury. We already knew that. Thanks for stating the obvious. We wanted more than that. Something that you've always given us more information on. But now it's like, we're not getting that information. It's like the Lions are being remarkably secretive and remarkably coy about this whole matter. Whether it's now Frank Ragnow and trying to figure out who the hell's lying, or what's been going on throughout the entirety of the season as to what the hell the Lions are doing. Because it's like, I can't understand how this team that literally last year was 15-2 and had a defense that was literally a mash unit. Now the defense is 100% healthy virtually, except for Kirby Joseph, and this team has completely, for lack of a better word, fallen apart. And it's like every single step of the way, it's been one more, okay, that doesn't make any sense. That's something smells rotten in Denmark. That sounds suspicious. We're not getting the same information. So seriously, what the hell is going on here? I honestly think that's what a lot of Lions fans are feeling right now, is what the hell is going on here? We aren't getting answers. We're being left remarkably in the dark, and it is not at all indicative of what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have done in the past. And quite frankly, I'm rather pissed about it. Because it's like, this is not at all what we've come to expect from this organization. They have been remarkably transparent in the past. They have been remarkably open with information. And this year, it has been an exact opposite of that. And I'm feeling I'm just feeling a tad bit, angry. Because it's like, this is not at all how this season was supposed to go. This is not at all how I expected this organization to handle its business. And I'm very, very beyond frustrated. I'm angry. I'm pissed. I want answers. And I think a lot of Lions fans are entitled to some answers. Especially, first and foremost, starting with what the hell is going on with this whole situation with Frank Ragnow. Because again, I can't understand how a guy that was reported to be completely healthy and in football shape shows up to your organization to do his medical tests, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's got a grade 3 hamstring strain. That just doesn't miraculously, you wake up one day and step out of bed and, you strained your hamstring. Like, what in the actual hell? Seriously. But I'm going to end this episode, and I'm going to seriously have to, try and do some thinking on this, because I'm beyond words. Like, I seriously don't know what the hell's going on. It's that simple. But I'm going to say this. A lot of trust has been shattered. A lot of trust has been broken. A lot of trust has now needed to be repaired because it has been clearly fractured. But anyway, I'm going to end this episode and say thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode when I decide to release it. If you liked what you saw, I hope to gain your subscription. If you subscribed in the past and forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, hope that you will push that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. Hope you all got something in your life that makes you happy, makes you smile. God bless, my friends. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.